Hey y'all, I'm going to do a pantry restock today, get some stuff done, get some stuff put in my freezer and my pantry, and get myself ready for the week. And these broths have been sitting on my shelf and they're getting ready to expire, so I thought I would freeze these in these cubes that I got. This one I got from Temu, and these other ones I got from Amazon. They have lids on them and you can write on them with a dry erase marker. It helps you keep up with what you got in your freezer, because I know I have a lot of work to do trying to keep up with everything that I have in my freezer and marking it too. So I'm going to put all these cubes in, the broth in the cubes, and I'll put them in the freezer and I'll let them sit for a few hours until they get frozen, and then I'll pop them out and put them in a Ziploc bag. That way I can just get them out when I need them. They'll be in individual portions. And I did have some left over that I put them in these silicone cups too. And I found a bag of biscuits that were all in a big clump, so I thought I would divide them in a couple bags in my and use my food saver. And I did take a couple out and leave for Doug's breakfast, and he can have those in the morning, and I'll just throw them in the air fryer. I really want to start making my own biscuits and freezing them, but I had a big bag, so I thought I would use these up first. And they were really good and really easy and convenient. And I had some beans that I had cooked a couple days ago, so I thought, why not just put them on a seal pat and put them in the freezer, and that way I can put them in some food saver bags. And if I just need one portion or two, I can just pop them in the microwave and we could have dinner in no time. So I've got these frozen, so I'm just going to pop those out and put them in that baggie. I usually put everything in the food saver, but I like to be able to just take some out and then I can reseal it back. And these worked really good. They popped out really easy, and these will be good when I need like a soup or a stew. These are also good for leftovers. You could make your own individual portions of your leftovers, and they would be good if you wanted to make a lunch, and you just pop them in the microwave and they would be done in no time. And now I'm going to make some barbecue sauce. I haven't bought barbecue sauce in so long because it's so easy to make, and I'll have all the recipes linked below. But it's just ketchup, some vinegar, some brown sugar, and some Worcestershire sauce. This comes together in no time. It's really easy and way better than anything you can buy in the store. And I'm adding some paprika. I'm also adding some garlic powder and onion powder, because you know I can't live without that. And just mix that up and heat it up, and I let it cool down and put it in the fridge, and it'll keep for a couple weeks. And now I've got a chicken that I needed to cook, so I thought, why not make some broth for the freezer? So I put the chicken in there, and I just put some salt and pepper in there, and now it's done. So I'm going to take the chicken out. I'll take the chicken off the bones, and then I'll put all the bones and the fat and all the other stuff back in there and let it cook some more, probably a day or two. And look at that broth. It looks so good. I know this is going to be delicious. And I like to do that when it's warm. I don't like to take the chicken off the bone when it's cold. I don't think you can get as much off as you can if it's nice and warm, even though it does burn my fingers a little bit. So I'll get all the chicken off and put in one bowl, and I'll put all this stuff back, and then I'll cook it just a little bit longer, and the broth will be ready. And now I'm going to take that chicken and I'll pop that in the refrigerator, and we can eat on that next week. I saw somebody make some homemade peanut butter cups. I thought I would do that. Still doing the pantry challenge, so I thought I would use this chocolate that I had in the cabinet, and I'm going to make some peanut butter cups. I've also got some peanut butter that I put in the microwave and melted, so I could use up the rest of that jar. So I'm going to put this in the microwave and get it melted. I'll put the melted chocolate at the bottom of this little muffin tin. I will put some peanut butter on top of that, and then I'll cover it with some more chocolate. This worked out really good. I did make some other ones, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I think these peanut butter cups were my favorite. Usually people will put like powdered sugar in the peanut butter, but I think when you just use the regular peanut butter, it makes the chocolate less sweet, and that's what I like about it. So I'm just going to put that melted peanut butter over that, and then the chocolate over that. And these I did some pecans and some caramel, and the other ones I chopped up some almonds and some coconut to make like an almond joy. I think they just had a little bit too much in there, but I would definitely make those again, but just make them a little bit thinner because they kind of cracked where the coconut was. But these were still really good. The peanut butter ones were my favorite, and they popped out really easy after I had them in the freezer for about 30 minutes. That's all it took. And we ate all of these pretty quick, so they were really good, even though I like the peanut butter ones the best. And now I'm going to make something with that chicken. I've took some chicken, some jalapenos, a can of some green chilies, and a half a block of cream cheese, and mix that up with a little bit of that broth. And now I've cut up like 4 of the tortillas and just little chunks, and this makes it so much easier than rolling it up in tortillas, and it tastes just as good, but it takes half the time. So I just threw those in there, and you mix that up. I did put in some garlic powder too, and I just put that in a greased casserole dish. Just spread it out. I also topped it with some cheese. I didn't have any cheddar cheese, so I found some Munster cheese in there in the fridge. I've never used that before, but it worked really well, so I just shredded that up and put it on top. And I put mine on broil after it was nice and bubbly, and it turned out perfect, and I just made it with some rice. And I have been seeing this pineapple staring me in the face for about a week and a half. I've been trying to buy more fruit, so if I've got it all cut up in the fridge, it's easy for me to get to it. So now my broth is done, so I'm going to strain it. I've got my strainer here over my bowl. So I'm just going to pour that in through the strainer, and then that way I can set it in the fridge and let all that fat come up to the top. So I'm just going to pour that out carefully because it's still hot. And I like my new bowl. But it doesn't have a lid, so I'm going to have to let that drain for a little bit, and then I'll cover it with a towel and stick it in the refrigerator and for a couple of hours, and then I'll be able to put it in those containers and freeze it. And that is some gorgeous looking broth. And now I'm going to make some cream of mushroom soup. This is completely homemade and so much better than anything you can buy in the store. And I'll have that recipe linked down below in the description box. But I'm just taking some butter and some onion and some mushroom, and I'm going to cook that for a couple minutes until everything is soft and cooked. And I have got some flour and some milk, and I'm going to combine that together. Mix that up. You're basically just making a roux. You're using the butter and flour and milk, kind of like a gravy. I'm going to make some, but I'm going to save some too and put it in the freezer, and I'm going to try that out and see if that works. I did see a farm girl in the making do that, so I'm going to try that out. And I'll get back to you later on to see if that works. But now my vegetables are nice and tender, so I'm going to add some broth. Stir that around, and now I'm going to add in the milk and the flour mixture, and that's going to thicken it up really good. And look at that. That is some beautiful soup. And I cannot wait to try it. But I can't wait to try it when it's frozen too. Hopefully it will work. So I'm going to try and figure out a dish that I want to use it in, and I'll let you know. But you could also make a cream of celery, or even a cream of potato soup, or even maybe a cheese soup. But I'm going to put mine in some jars, and I will put one in the fridge for 3 or 4 days, and I'll put 1 jar in the freezer, and I'm going to try that out too. So I hope you enjoyed this kitchen restock video, and I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed week, and I'll see y'all in the next video.